We are live. Yes. And hey, my friends, welcome back to the podcast for those of you returning. And welcome for those of you joining in for the first time. I am thrilled that you're here. My name is Debi Talbert. I am a whole life coach with advanced certifications in alcohol liberation and behavior design. I do want to dive right into today's episode. The focus here inside Aging Flip podcast and Jumpseat Coaching TV is for you to experience how great it is to age. That's really my purpose for the show. That's my purpose for the YouTube channel with whatever it is I put over there and whoever the guests are that I bring here. That is truly and genuinely the purpose of what I'm doing here. And that is what I have learned how to do this, and I have learned to love this season of my life. I've also learned to love my perfectly imperfect self. And that is why I designed and created a group coaching membership called Busy Being Blossom. Today, what I want to do is teach you what coaching actually is, because it dawned on me that many of you listening may not actually know what coaching actually is. It's near and dear to my heart because coaching and my chance encounter with a life coach is what changed the trajectory of my life. That is why I wanted to bring this episode to you to share what coaching actually is for you, how coaching can benefit you and help you to experience how great it is to be in this season of life and to confidently age and understand and know that you'll be able to navigate, transition, go through, experience anything that this season of life brings your way. Let's have a lot of fun while we're doing it. All right. My chance encounter first, so you can understand why this really is important to me and why I want you to understand what it is and what coaching is and how it helps, is because my chance encounter with the life coach, they literally, because up until that point, I had experienced a lot of therapy for a variety of reasons. And at that moment in my life, when I had this chance encounter, I didn't have much confidence. My confidence had faded. And I don't know if that might be happening to you too, as you have hit your fifth decade of life and you're starting to notice, first of all, it's very easy for us to become and feel like almost invisible. We have that. It's where we're socially conditioned to believe that aging is a bad thing, that quote unquote old isn't what we want to be. And we can become invisible. People stop literally actually seeing us. I remember hearing stories from flight attendants and even passengers talking on the airplane of where they felt like they were starting to become invisible and that they would literally get bypassed in line. Even myself, I had an experience where I was at the airport. No, I wasn't working the flight. I was standing there in my uniform. And at the time, it was this bright purple color. So you can clearly see it. And this person, and on more than one occasion, people literally just bypassed me in the line. And I don't know if it was because they thought, and this even happened in food lines. So it wasn't this particular one I remember the most, was because it was blatantly clear I was in the line. I was the next person. And they just literally bypassed me in front of me, and it wasn't like they were having an emergency. They had an emergency question or anything. It was just as if to them I was invisible. So don't get me started on how advertising depicts us at this season of our life. Well, all of that can start to lead us to thinking it's too late for me. I'm too old for this and aging sucks. And so for me, when I came across a life coach, that's where I was. That was the headspace that I was in. And I was getting too old. This aging thing sucked. I remember repeating my mother-in-law's saying she said it in Spanish, and I don't know how to say it in Spanish because she was from Cuba. But she's always telling my husband, aging is not for the weak. And then and I started believing that and buying into that and feeling old. And I really just started to be very down on myself and where I was in life. I had forgotten all of the things I had accomplished. I had forgotten how resourceful I have been my entire life. I had forgotten the resilience that I had to get through a lot of things. And even the resilience that I was having in the moments of working my job. And I lived in Florida and worked out of New York. And I was navigating, flying to work instead of driving to work. That takes a lot of resourcefulness, a lot of skills, a lot of flexibility, all of the things that really helps you thrive in life and enjoy life. But I had forgotten all of that. Because I had forgotten all of that, my way of coping with how I was talking to myself about myself and how I was thinking about my life was drinking a lot of wine and alcohol. I found myself stuck. This life coach, they literally just started asking me, so what is it that you actually want? What would you like to actually be different? And then taught me this tactic of taking what I was complaining about, my frustrations, and every time I noticed I was complaining, then I was to write those down. And then on the other side, get very curious and start asking myself, so what do I want instead? And so then was able to create this, he called it a contrast through clarity list. And so the contrast of what I didn't want helped me to develop clarity on what it is I did want. Because even in that moment, when he first asked me that question, I truly, genuinely didn't know what I actually wanted. And it's very challenging to get what it is you want if you actually don't even know what that is. And so that particular step is actually what helped me to start to change how I thought about myself, to understand and uncover what it was I actually wanted. And then it also helped me to learn more about myself and see and witness how resourceful I had already been up until that point in my life. And it also helped me to see and uncover how much I was living into the shoulds of what somebody else had decided I life ought to be, what somebody else had decided was successful. That same question of, so what do I actually want, is what helped me to transform my relationship with alcohol a few years down the road. And so this is why for me, I have this love the fact that I had this chance encounter with the life coach. And it was literally on an airplane galley having a conversation. And then that's what helped me move into finding my own life coach, hiring a life coach, learning some of the skills. And that is also a life coach is what helped me take, because I'd been for a long time a self-help junkie, so to speak, always reading. I didn't read much fiction, but I read a lot of self-help books. However, up until the chance encounter with the life coach, I struggled with, how do I take the concepts and put them into practice into real life? The life coach helped me to look into my future and helped me to see and ask question, what did I want for my future? And gave me tools and support to help me design that, make goals, and keep myself accountable. What I want to share with you are a list of 9 ways that a life coach can help you, the benefits of having a life coach. Before I get into those 9 ways, though, I really want to open you up to an idea, because some of you might be thinking, oh, yeah, that sounds nice for you, but, right? Okay. And so I really want you to open up to how we've all heard the concept and the importance and the teaching of taking care of ourselves physically. And I even did an episode. What is that number? I'm looking at my notes. I'm moving around. Sorry, because I made a note of what it is. Okay, so the episode, the one I had with Christine and the blueprint for longevity was episode number 104. We do go into 3 key areas for the longevity. Part of that was the importance of taking care of ourselves physically. And we have long been conditioned to understand that physically we need to take care of ourselves. We also understand that a gym might be beneficial to help us with that. And even at the gym, hiring ourselves a personal trainer would be beneficial to helping us achieve our physical goals. We also are aware and accept that it makes total sense for professional athletes to have a coach, or those aspiring to excel at their sport to hire a coach. And so they hire a coach so that they can become the best at their game. Well, for us, life is our game. I want you to really open yourself up to that, understanding that life is our game. If we want to experience how great it is to age, we want to be our best in this game of life. Having a coach to help you achieve and reach and go after your physical goals for your health and your physical body, I personally think that comes second to having a life coach to help you with this game of life, because our mental and emotional health is, in my opinion, actually more important than our physical health. I know I might be stepping on some toes there. However, if we don't have our emotional and mental health, we're not going to be able to get ourselves to follow through with those physical health goals and the eating health goals. It's simply not going to happen because our brain strength won't be there. The mental capacity to manage our feelings, to experience our feelings, to manage our emotions, they're all necessary for us to achieve those physical and health goals. And if we don't know how to manage our mind and how to work on our mindset, then we're not going to be able to achieve those physical goals. And so, in my opinion, and this is my personal opinion, and how I've seen it play out in my own personal life, is that having a coach for the game of life to help you with your mental and emotional health is more important than having a coach for the gym or even a gym membership. I have a coach that helps me with the business side, and I have a coach that helps me with my personal side of things. And they literally help me with the mental games that are necessary for both of those areas of my life so that I can be the best at this game of life. Before I told you the 9 benefits, I wanted to open you up to that idea. What do you actually do to strengthen your mental health? And how do you actually work on your mindset? Allow yourself to ignite your curiosity around that as you're listening to these 9 benefits. As you're hearing them, you are probably going to be able to, within my story, understand how this chance encounter with a life coach changed the trajectory of my life. The first one is helps you define your goals. And so that simple question and that contrast through clarity was really how I was able to define some of my goals and understand what it is I actually wanted. I knew what it is, what I would be willing to go for in my life. Then the second is it, and these aren't in any particular order. They just happen to be the order in which I wrote them down. Adds more accountability to your life. Just like the gym, if you're paying for it, you're going to hold yourself accountable for showing up. And then you add the extra step of adding the personal trainer. You're going to hold yourself more accountable for showing up. Just like hiring a life coach will help you to hold yourself more accountable for showing up. It'll help you hold yourself more accountable for following through on the tactics that you were taught, for opening yourself up to testing them, experimenting with them, and seeing how they play out in your life. The third encourages you to define your values. A life coach can encourage you to define your values by asking you questions to open you up to really discovering what those values are, and also helping you to collect the awesome moments that you've already had in your life, looking at those and understanding what actually made them awesome, help you understand your values. Until I understood how to take and look at moments in my life that I already knew and decided were awesome and amazing for me, and then looking at what made those that way for me, that's what helped me uncover my values. It helps you to see yourself more clearly. For me, living my life as my authentic self, first of all, I always struggled with, okay, what does that mean? What do you mean be my authentic self? Where does that come from? Who even knows what your authentic self is? I just felt like it was a catch-all phase to talk people into trying to do. That's how I felt about it when I was first listening to it. A life coach will help you see yourself more, help you with self-awareness and self-acceptance, building skills and development. In my own story, it was allowing me to build the skill of changing my totally dysfunctional relationship with alcohol, allowing me to build the skill and then develop into the person who no longer cared if alcohol was around me or not. It also allowed me to develop the skills and become the person who wanted to become a life coach. It also allowed me the skills and personal development to really uncover, who did I want to help? How did I want to help people? And why did it matter the most to me? A life coach also offers a safe space to talk about sensitive issues. And so really admitting and being honest about what was going on in my life with alcohol was a key part of me being able to make it small and irrelevant. And also, as I'm working on growing my business and really learning to live and be my authentic self and understanding what that actually is for me, and understanding my own emotions and how to experience them, because I believe for myself, because of how long alcohol was in my life, when it comes to emotional safety for myself and understanding my own emotions, I'm only 8 years old, because alcohol's only been out of my life for 8 years. And I started it when I was 18. And so I really feel like in that particular aspect of my life, I'm only 8. And that can sometimes be very sensitive and hard and requires me being vulnerable and open and honest and willing to talk about it and talk about what's really going on. A life coach can create that safe space for you and hold the space for you to be able to do that. Another thing is that a life coach encourages you to step out of your comfort zone. They're going to help you to see the resourcefulness within yourself that you may not be able to see. They're also going to help you not continue to buy into your own BS stories. They're going to be able to call you in a kind, graceful way and compassionate way, but call you out on the lies you might be telling yourself, and understanding how what you're actually doing, the behaviors you're doing, aren't necessarily matching with your goals and your values of your life, and helping you see that clearer, even when you really don't want to see it for yourself. They're going to help you and to challenge you and help you to step out of your comfort zone and challenge you to go for it and to test it and give it a shot and see what happens. They're also going to help you with staying out of that, I can't figure this out, I'm not good enough, this is hopeless, because your brain is going to go there. Your brain is designed for the negativity bias. Your brain is going to be highly laser focused on, hyper focused on what's going wrong. And so as you're stepping out of your comfort zone, It's going to be a warning signal for your brain. This is not safe, and your brain is designed to keep you safe. So it's going to point out all those negative things, and the life coach is going to help you transition through that and help you as you're swinging from the realm of doubt and into the realm of possibility and back and forth. Because when you're first learning how to do something and doing new things, you go back and forth between that space a lot. And a coach will help you to navigate your way through it so that you don't quit before you get to where you wanted to go. They're also going to offer you a different viewpoint, getting you to bounce ideas off of you, help you to see a different viewpoint, help you to open up to curiosity. Life coach can help you make tough decisions. And so those are the nine benefits of how working with a life coach can help you and to support you. So that is what I have for you today to help you understand what a life coach is, how a life coach made a difference in my life, why a life coach actually matters. A coach is what is going to help you be amazing at this game of life. I will see you back in another episode. I'll see you on the YouTube if that's where you are, or you can hear me on the podcast in another episode next week.